everybody. I'm so glad to be back with word study again. The number 2 was super popular, so I wanted to circle back and study the number 1. It's a word that a lot of people know how to spell. Some of our youngest students or kids with dyslexia, other challenges that make spelling more difficult might struggle with it. But a lot of people don't understand why it's spelled the way it is, and that's because of some big changes that have happened with it. One came into English around 1200. There was an Old English word that actually has given us an, like I have an elephant. I don't. And so those articles, like I have an orange, I have a banana, the A and the AN, those are relatives of the word one. Some of the other broader relatives include words like 11, any, anon, and some other fun ones. But then if we look at words that are built off of the same base, that aren't just cousins or in that broader family group, but words built off of the same ONE base, we have some very, very cool relatives like atone. So if you atone for something, you become at one. You make up for it, right? You reconcile. And alone is another really cool one. That AL prefix is like all one, alone, just one. And we see that AL prefix in other words. What's super cool about both of those relatives though is that they do show us the likely historical pronunciation for one. It was with that own, alone, atone, that many people will feel more comfortable with the spelling of that E marking the O as tense or long. So we used to say own instead of one. Then the first recording, there's it written in a Bible in 1400. All this is from Adam Online. From 1400, written in a Bible as WUN, I believe, which helps us understand that this change was taking place in pronunciation. I could tell that it's going from on to one to one. That kind of progression took place. And that's why now in modern day, present day English, in my dialect, there's the 2 homophones. There's one like the number sense for something that is single or unique. And there is one like I won a game, I will win that game. Some people might be wondering why there is this w sound that often happens with O's. And if you look at just the placement of our lips for both of those sounds, it's going to explain a lot. So if I say own and I say w, you can see how my lips are doing the same thing. And that's why, a word like go, you can tell go. There's a little bit of a w at the end of that. Going, well, we hear the w, go wing, wing, right? But that's not G-O plus W-I-N-G. And so it's easy to see how we could get from own to one. Hundreds of years have passed, pronunciation shift. That is not a hard stretch to make. There's some real obvious compounds we can build with one, like anyone and oneself at someone. And then there's these more unique ones like alone and atone, not compounds, but more complex constructions. Onion is a very cool member of this family as well. And then the broader relatives, like I mentioned, only, once, ounce is a broader relative, none. If we go back even farther to where the Proto-Indo-European root went through Latin, we have all of our words with the UNE base, like union and university and unique. that also have that sense of oneness, of uniqueness, of individuality. This is also a great opportunity to teach, reinforce this idea that just because 3 letters are in a row does not mean that that word is in another word. So there is no one in bone or stone or telephone. And it is not in erroneous as well. It's not in salmonella. So you can look up a bunch of words that have that O-N-E combo, and they do not have the base 1 in them. They just happen to have that same sequence of letters. It's a really, really cool word for any students of English to understand, because it doesn't make sense until we understand that history. It's certainly worth taking some time to look at in depth. All right, thanks.